Hey everyone, and welcome to lesson 1 of the Reclaim Your Time series. I'm Sami, and I'm so excited to guide you on this journey towards feeling a little bit more intentional about your time and having a much more fulfilling life. In today's lesson, we're diving into the fundamental steps of tracking your time. Now, it may sound really simple, but understanding where your time goes is the cornerstone of making positive changes in your life. So to get started, you're going to be filling out these sheets every day for a week to 2 weeks, whatever feels right to you. Depending on if you have very similar schedules week to week, or if your schedule really varies week to week, you might want to do it for 2 weeks if it varies a lot. So here's just an example of my day. So, about first thing in the morning, every single day, I walk and feed the dogs, takes me about a half hour. Then I make and eat breakfast, takes me about a half hour. And then on this particular day, I drove to work, which is 30 minutes away, spent some time working, went to the grocery store to pick up groceries at 4:30 down here, then got to Kroger, picked things up, headed home, made dinner, had a private session, healing circle, spent some time chatting with my husband, watching Queer Eye for the Queer Eye on Netflix, and then went ahead and started my bed routine. So you're going to have this worksheet as well, but yours is just going to be blank for you. Feel free to print this one off and work through it, or you can obviously, of course, transfer all of this over onto a schedule. The idea is we're just going to be tracking how we're using all of our time, because moving forward, we're going to take a look at how you're utilizing your time and what your priorities and goals are in your life and see if those things are meshing up. Now, of course, there are things that we have to do. If you have children, you have to do your parenting tasks. If you have a full-time job, you have to add that in there, right? There are many things we have to do, doctor's appointments, a variety of things, right? But we want to take a look at that free time. Every time I start working with a new client, they always go, I just really don't have any extra time in my day. So we are going to figure out kind of where the extra time, where the wiggle room is and where it isn't. And we're going to be really realistic with our goals. But that's coming weeks from now. So all you need to worry about in these first 2 weeks that you're doing this is just tracking what you do. So tip number 1 I have for you. Be honest with yourself. Don't sugarcoat or omit anything, because this exercise is really about understanding your reality so that you can make informed decisions moving forward. And we don't want to miss any of our must-do things, right? We want to make sure those are included in our new calendar. And we want to make sure we're really open and honest about how flexible our schedules, our priorities need to be. Tip number 2 I have for you is use some categories. Whether it's work, personal, social, or leisure, I would go back through after I wrote down my schedule and write down some categories of things, because that's going to help cut down on your time in the upcoming lessons when we start categorizing and breaking down how you're utilizing your time. It'll be much faster for you to be able to flip through those things and just have this is social, this is family, this is work, or whatever written already on. Tip number 3, set regular check-in times. It could be at the end of the day or the beginning of the next day, but just make sure you're setting regular check-in times so you don't forget to fill out those little sheets. Tip number 4, reflect on your emotions during each activity. You can just write this underneath the little box or somewhere in it, or maybe even with Post-its that says this made me energized, stressed, happy, bored, whatever. This is going to be amazing indicative clues for you to understanding where you're feeling blocked, where you're feeling excited, and how we can capitalize on that later into this course. And, it'll just figure out what truly matters to you. So there you have it. Lesson 1, super easy. Well, super simple. Might not be that easy for some of you. Just tracking your time. Remember, the goal here is self-awareness, not judgment. The goal here is looking at your time and figuring out where you're spending it and how you're spending it. Just getting curious, just experimenting, just diving in, not analyzing at this point. In lesson 2, we will start analyzing and categorizing your information so we can really see how much time is going to each category, so we can start laying the best foundations for how to make your goals, priorities, and schedules later in the lesson. I will see you in lesson 2. Bye. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Please remember that if you don't get a chance to track your time consistently, that's okay. You can start this step as many times as you need. This is not a race. This is just about you collecting information about what's going on. If you feel like you're really getting caught up and stuck in getting this activity done, I would highly recommend Allison's Pathfinder sessions, and I also have a session called Getting Back on Track.
Both of these would be really great in just helping you relive your confidence, figure out what you've got going on, and give you some advice moving forward.